Hello, welcome. Today we're going to talk about the compatibility between a Sagittarius Capricorn cusp and a Pisces Aries cusp. Being truthful is really important to this couple. You have a very playful energy. If you can go with the flow, it will be a very pleasant experience with the Sagicorn. You're both deviants when you're together and often find yourselves acting vulgar or even inappropriate. You would be intrigued by a Sagicorn. They can do some pretty questionable things that would probably weird you out or be kind of a turnoff, but you still can't get enough of them. You both really want to make a difference and leave your mark around the world. You're both deeply connected and often read each other really well without even having to say anything. Your bond is very empathic and special. If they're uncomfortable and they want to leave the party, you can sense it without them even having to express their needs. When you get a new promotion or something amazing happens at work, when you get home, they can sense your happiness. They can sense the excitement before it even happens. Before you even tell them about it. It's magical. Stop holding on to things when you are with them, or it will be awkward. It would feel like you belong with them somehow. It just makes sense, you know? They are the missing piece of the puzzle. They would feel honored to be with you. You both can be headstrong at times, and this can get in the way of meeting each other's needs. You put your foot down with them and you refuse to budge. You both like to receive pleasure, and it's less about giving pleasure to each other, but try not to get in your own way. You are often your worst enemy when it comes to this relationship. It rarely falls apart because of an external source. It usually comes from within. That's how it crumbles, if it does. Your Sagittarius Capricorn cusp might have spending habits that are very different from yours. They might be more into fitness gear or like to spend a lot of time at the gym. You might not get why they want to go to that spin class or what they need that trampoline for. It can be confusing for you. You both love to laugh and joke around, and you both like the same kind of comedy. You have to be strong to be with them. This isn't easy. It's not a relationship for the weak-minded. Being vulnerable can be really scary, but you have to open up and be more flexible for them. Avoid self-sabotage. Sagittarius Capricorn cusp really value intimacy, and they're not always the best at communicating that to you. So you might feel like at times you have to guess, and guessing games can definitely rub you the wrong way. You're often very creative, and your Sagicorn would actually be very drawn to your creative side. Your love is passionate. You both live very different lives and you do things your own way. So finding shortcuts is really important. Don't make things harder than they need to be. Your energies contradict each other a lot, which can definitely make things more challenging. They might be more into tech than you or more trendy, and you aren't really sure what to make of it. It can cause arguments. You actually might feel like you have more of a temper around them. They light you up like dynamite. Other people see this intense energy and they're like, I don't know why you bother being with each other. They just don't get it. They wonder what you see in each other. Remain as rational as possible throughout your relationship, if you want this to make sense. Your Sagicorn might need a lot of alone time with you to feel comfortable. You can see through a lot of bullshit, and they feel relieved to be around you. You may get them more than they get you, but not by much. And they love your compassion. Emotions can fester and bubble up to the surface at any time. You may have trouble letting go of things and getting past obstacles. It takes a lot of effort on both your parts, and your fights can erupt frequently. You get under each other's skin and aggravate each other, causing you to butt heads a lot. You want to shield yourself, which is really natural in this situation. But these confrontations actually arise because you don't let them in enough. You actually hold back. So in order to break the cycle, you might have to be vulnerable. Just remember that your vulnerability doesn't look the same as theirs. They aren't as complicated as you, and you might be looking for more layers from them. They aren't shallow, but what you see is what you get with them. So if you're constantly urging them to reveal things to you, they will get annoyed because they want you to accept them as they are and stop trying to look for more emotion. The spark is so vibrant And sometimes it's so bright that it's difficult to handle. You need to find a way to tone that spark down, I know. Especially at times when you need to just focus on your life and times that require you to be more down to earth. There is such a fine line between love and hate, and you can walk it for a very long time, especially later on in a marriage. Your Sagittarius would be perfectly fine living their life without you. They don't need you, and they're good at doing their own thing. That doesn't mean they don't want to be with you. You have to be okay with that. Your perspective is very attractive to them, and it makes them feel alive. You don't always agree with them. In fact, despite your empathic, special vibe, you are never fully on board with them. But the thing is, you don't have to understand them to fully love each other. You just have to respect each other. So you may not be able to fully wrap your heads around each other's actions, right? But you can still have a beautiful relationship. It may require some extra effort though. And you both are still able to trust each other and remain loyal to each other. Getting married to a Sagittarius wouldn't be easy for you. And it doesn't tend to work out even though you're both very devoted, and even when you're both okay with things getting explosive. In fact, you might really like that fiery energy, and it could be really attractive to you. That passion is sexy. The truth hurts, but you both value it deeply. Transparency can become a huge deal to this couple. You both want to lay all your cards out on the table and tell each other everything, but it can be trickier than this couple anticipates. It's one thing to value transparency, it's another thing to act on those values. Your Sagittarius would love spending time with you, so often dating later on in life is more successful. Conflict is not intimidating to this couple. It's a natural part of their love life. I mean, it's often better to work things out and clear the air instead of avoiding conflict. It really helps that you don't require a lot of validation from each other. You both have this trust, and you don't need to constantly praise or compliment each other or talk about your feelings when you're with them. Besides, you can sense it. However, it's not instantly like this. Often, you both avoid confessing your true feelings for a really long time. And when you do, it's like a nuclear bomb going off out of nowhere. You avoid being honest about your emotions in the beginning, but it happens anyway because emotions don't just like stay bottled up. They have to go somewhere, they have to move, they have to flow. So they come out, and when they do, it's often very intense because you felt this build up for so long. So with this dynamic, things often start out very slow, but then they speed up. They burst into motion. You can both be very willful and headstrong. You'll often come to your Sagittarius' defense even when you don't agree with their actions. You still have their back even when it is their fault. You care a lot. If you're too picky, especially on the first date, then your Sagittarius is probably not going to keep you around. They don't like a partner who's too fussy or who makes a big deal out of nothing. You both might feel like you want to hate them, but you can't help but love them. Like your heart is running the show no matter how much you want to just run away. You both usually have no trouble being honest about it with them, even when it complicates things. Your Sagittarius would expect you to go be supportive of them. They can be boastful and sometimes cocky when they're on a roll, and they need you to be tolerant. They would need you to be the rock or the secure one, and that's not really your forte, at least not all the time. You might be looking for a love that would be more exciting, and you will probably be the more mature one, which will definitely attract them. You would be the one to take charge. Thank you so much for watching. If you were born on the cusp of Pisces and Aries, or on the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn, please comment below and let me know what you think. Have you fallen in love with each other? Have you had any kind of experiences with each other? Are you interested in dating each other? Do you have any thoughts? Please let me know in the comment section. And also, please subscribe to my channel. Bye!